Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with My Hero Academia. Oh god. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had the aftermath of hero killer Stain. So Midoriya, Todoroki, and Ida were all recovering in the hospital when they were paid a visit by the chief of police of Hosu City, an 8-foot-tall dog guy. Cool. Who sort of scolded them about what they had done because it is illegal for unlicensed people to use their quirk to harm another person, even if they are a villain. However, because this was Hero Killer Stain, they were let off with a warning, and it was basically covered up. They basically covered it up so the public wouldn't know that it was the three of them that took on Stain, and instead the credit went to Endeavor. Meanwhile, Ida has some pretty serious injuries in his left hand, and he's got nerve damage, and it could be permanent, but there is possible surgery he can have. But he's decided that he's going to leave his hand the way it is until he has proven to himself that he can be a hero. And then after that, Gran Torino had a call with All Might about a mysterious figure named All for One, who could be the head of the League of Villains, who also, many years ago, killed Shimura, the predecessor to All Might, and also, 5 years back, severely injured All Might, which caused him to have to revert to a weakened form. So, this All for One guy's pretty big business, and Gran Torino encouraged All Might to tell Midoriya the whole story about All for One. So maybe we'll get that in this episode. Who knows? This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of My Hero Academia, it is unfortunately not in this video due to copyright reasons. So what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment on this video, and there will be a link there. And if you click that link, it'll take you to my highlight reaction, where the footage is in the corner. It's all edited and nice and good. And you can watch that. You can hopefully have a good time. When you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion. So with that being said, we might as well get right into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go. Alrighty. Man, that was nice, you know? Because we've mainly been focusing, on Midoriya's internship with Gran Torino. So it's kind of nice to sort of go around a bit, and not only that, not just go around a bit, but to stick with one of them for a little while. That was nice. So, okay. We can go ahead and hop right into the notes here. Hop. Froppy. She's a frog. She hops. Anywho. Now, I didn't write this down, but at the beginning, we did have Midoriya talking about, it's been 2 days since the hero killer. And, so, Ida has gone home. He's going to be looked after by his mother. Todoroki is basically healed up, and he's going to go back to continue his internship with Endeavor. Meanwhile, Midoriya is still there at the hospital, which I find a little odd. I guess, is that because they can't get Recovery Girl over there? Because she won't heal those injuries or something? I don't know. Yeah, it seems a little odd that Midoriya is still there, after the two of them have gone on. Because he honestly didn't sustain too many injuries, especially, compared to Ida. Okay, he sort of, cut his leg, and then he did injure his right arm in that last punch on Stain, but he didn't break it. That's the thing. So it's so it is a little odd that he's still there after all this time, but I don't know. But then we had a look at everyone's internships. So the first thing I wrote down was pride. Bakugo's pride as he went on patrol with Best Jeanist. I did like that. and I do like, um, I do like when those kids started to make fun of him a bit, which they didn't bring up. They didn't bring up the sports festival. They brought up in episode 2 when he was taken by the sludge monster. They brought that up, which pissed him off, and I love that undid his the hair grooming that Best Jeanist did. It just completely spiked back right back to where it was. I did like that. I thought that was funny. And then, he's getting all pissed off and they're crying and he's like, you need to talk to them like a pro. And he's like, okay, fine. I will talk to them like a pro. Look. And he's still like yelling at them, but he's trying. I actually like that, because, Best Jeanist is like, okay, he still has too much pride. How am I going to fix this? How am I going to help him sort of set aside his pride, basically, in some of these and just talk to them like a real pro does. That is a challenge for Best Jeanist, which now I believe they only have 2 days left, The internships were only for 1 week, basically. So, yeah, there's a week left, or not a week, there's 2 days left in the week of internships before basically classes resume. So, yeah, we've got, I don't know, he's got his work cut out for him. Heh. Also a joke on him, cloth and denim. Anyway, but I did like, the second time that Bakugo was yelling at the kids, trying to talk to them like a pro, and they were still, crying and, screaming at him, you could see it did actually affect him. He didn't like that they were still doing that. He was still like, he had like this look like, shit, how do I do this? How do I talk to them, So that's interesting. It's a bit of a different change. It wasn't just that he yelled at them again and then was like, oh, whatever. It's like, no, this does sort of affect him that he can't do it properly, that he can't just talk to them, So that was interesting to see, sort of a different side of Bakugo, because let's face it, he still wants to be a hero, He wants to be a hero. The problem is we haven't seen too many heroic things from Bakugo. So we're going to need, I don't know, we're going to need to see a lot of development for him. So, but I do feel like this is the start of development for him. The next thing I wrote down was knife. Uraraka has some knife training going on with Gunhead. I thought that was interesting. And I like, because he's kind of being rough with her, He's being rough, grab the wrist, throw her down, twist the wrist so that the knife comes out. And, it is hurting her. But then, she gets up and she's like, oh, this is so intense. I love it, Like, she loves this kind of combat training. And now, and I like, so then he was going to, swing the knife at her, and she had to do that. So she's definitely getting some good training in with Gunhead. I do like that. And then, well, okay, we also had Yaoyorozu and Kendo with the Snake Hero. I'm still waiting for them to actually do hero stuff, but nope, I don't know. We have 2 days left. We have 2 days left in the internships. Maybe we'll see. I also did like Kirishima and Tetsu and Fourth Kind doing their thing. Just cleaning up. I thought that was actually pretty cool. It's like, yeah, the heroes should do some of that stuff, And then we also got Earphone Jack. Was it Jiro, I think is her name? There's so many names. I've really tried to get them all down. But we had Jiro in a hostage situation. Hostage situation. That's how you speak. Yeah, so that was interesting. I actually did like that. She's actually doing hero stuff. And yeah, she was kind of thinking like, okay, I'm going to be the one that escorts out the people. But that's pretty good, honestly. That's pretty good. So I enjoyed that, and I like, she was the one who was using her quirk, to figure out how many people were in there. So I like that. And then for the pretty much more than the second half of the episode. We went to, the Oki Mariner with Froppy, Suyuwasui. That's all of her names. There we go. We hung out with her for the remainder of the episode, which I actually really did like. And you wouldn't think that they, I don't want to say like, oh, you wouldn't think that they would do that, but it is actually interesting that, we dedicated the rest of the episode to her. It's like, well, okay then, Like, it's not dedicated to Bakugo or Uraraka, who are more main characters than Sue is. But, I mean, Sue in Season 1 did become a pretty major player, because she was with Midoriya, By that logic, so was Mineta. She did more, though. So, I'm getting hungry. It's time for lunch, and I'm starting to get hungry. So, anyway, this is also the 4th video I've recorded so far today. So my voice is kind of drying out. I need to get some water, but anyway. So we went and followed Froppy's adventures on the Oki Mariner, which was pretty cool. I like that. We got introduced to Captain Selkie, who... Now, what exactly did they say his quirk was? I think it was just, like, seal, basically.
That's all. Got it? Let me hear you, sailors! Aye, aye, sir.
Yeah.
Spotted seal. He can do pretty much anything a spotted seal can. That includes making a sonar-like sound and using its echo to determine the position of his opponent.
Right. That's really interesting. So, we've had characters like this, like Principal Nezu or the Chief of Police, who are, what seem to be humans whose quirk have turned them into animals, basically. And so now we really get to dive into that, which, to be fair, we have had that, though. We have had that, okay, yes, the Chief of Police and Principal Nezu have seemed to be anomalies because they're so animal-like. They just look like animals, just humanoid animals. But we have had an animal character this whole time, We've had Froppy, We've had Sue, who, her quirk literally just is frog. It's just that she doesn't look like a complete, frog. She doesn't look like freaking Slippy Toad from the Star Fox series. There's a reference. Anywho, but she doesn't look like just a frog, that stands on its hind legs or whatever. She does, look like a girl. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So I like getting a bit more of that and seeing, one of these animal quirked humans in action, basically. So, yeah, we got Captain Selkie. I did like him. At first, he kind of gave off a weird impression. I was like, oh, is this guy kind of, tough or a jerk or something? I was like, no, he is a little tough, but he's tough as a captain would be. He doesn't want them to slack off, basically. So I liked him. I thought he was pretty cool. And I like the running joke of him trying to be adorable and just no one falling for it except for Sue. I thought that was cute. We also got Sirius. I liked her. So she was Captain Selkie's sidekick, which was pretty cool. And she can hear, basically. She has great hearing and could hear from, a pretty big distance the sonar sound that Selkie makes. I do like that. She was really cool. I liked her, and I liked her, even just her teaching Sue some of this stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I wrote down the Kraken, the Kraken man that we had here, the villain. That was interesting, and a very interesting fight, with all his appendages going everywhere. And I also like the detail. It's not just that he has tentacles, but at the end of his tentacle is a hand, He does have a hand at the end of his tentacle, that, you know, he can use to cover people's mouths and stuff. I thought that was really cool. Made for a great villain. And that's the thing is, like, you know, I like, you know, the whole thing of Sue realizing, okay, this is what Sirius was talking about. You know, the captain is relying on us. We have to do our jobs, basically. And so that was a cool moment when she realized it. And it was also cool for her to just fight for a little bit. She didn't get too far, you know, in that fight. You know, Captain Selkie still had to come in and defeat the bad guy. But I like that she did do some stuff because, A, she goes to UA and has a lot of combat training, and B, she was in the USJ incident, you know? She was in the USJ incident, so she has experience with villains, you know, just like all of Class 1A. So, I enjoyed that, and, you know, and even though she didn't last too long, she lasted long enough to save Sirius and, you know, delay this Kraken guy, or the octopus guy, until Captain Seal showed up, or Captain Selkie, excuse me. So yeah, I did like that. And yeah, that was pretty much the last thing I wrote down, just the fact that we stayed with Froppy for the rest of the episode. I did enjoy that. And, you know, just at the end when the Coast Guard guy was like, well, I look forward to working with you again, Froppy. And it was like, oh, it's just such a great moment, you know? So that was really cool. I did enjoy that. But yeah, that is pretty much all I wrote for this episode. Yeah, really good, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get to the next episode. So with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of My Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon, follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.